Hey, this is Joy. Welcome back to another Whimsy Stamps video. As you can tell, I have everything summer and beach on my mind. So we're going to do a quick and easy beach scene using the Beach Huts stamp set. I chose the one hut, the lifeguard stand, and the surfboard image to create my scene in the beginning, and then later on I will bring in others. So I am stamping those using a Misty and some black dye ink so that they will be Copic friendly to color those. I chose to go with a washed out red, so I started out with a R02 to color the hut, and that is going to be the highlight of the building, but it's also going to be a lot of the same, because if you're on the beach, you'll notice that older huts get weathered from all the sand, the wind, the rain, all those things. So we're going to go with a washed out color. So I'm leaving the areas that are black stripes black. I'm not adding any other color to it because the artist did such a great job of putting in the hash marks and the tick marks that you already get the illusion of the shading. So that is how I started this project. Now I'm going to bring in the R08, which is the darkest color. And here I am going along the bottom of the hut and then at the very top, like where the overhang would be. And I am just feathering in that R08 just to give some color to this hut. My mid-tone color then is an R05. And I am just lightly putting that in just to blend out that R02 to that R08 because it is such a color difference. So I think that the most important thing after this is to come back in with an R02. If you are interested, all of the products from Whimsy Stamps will be listed in the description box below. Now, in one of my other videos, I talked about the hash marks and only having to use one color. So where the red would be on this Lifesaver, is that what you call them? I don't know. I just used the R05, and that gave me all the shading that I needed. I repeated the same colors for the surfboard. Now for the umbrella, I started with a BG11. Then I am coming in with a BG13. And that is, I'm sorry, a BG49, excuse me. That is my darkest color. So that is a drastic color in comparison to the BG11. But that's what gives us that glow and that 3D effect. Now I'm bringing in a BG15 to blend that out. And I believe I actually do come back in with this BG11 just to make sure I get some shading. Now for the chair, I did the exact same thing. And then I brought in some warm grays for the lifeguard stand itself. And I even put those in along the steps. You'll notice also that I had colored in some sand. I used an E42 because that matches my desert sand Memento ink really well. And you'll see that come in later when I start to do some of the ink blending. Actually, that's now. So, like I said, I'm using Memento Desert Sand, and I am blending that onto the bottom third of the page, and I concentrated the darkest part at the edge of the paper, and then I do an ombre effect where it's lighter towards the upper part, because then I'm going to bring in Summer Sky Memento ink, and I want those to blend well together. So again, I'm starting at the top of the page, and for the 2/3 of the page, I am doing this Summer Sky Memento ink. You could use any ink you wanted, whether it's a dye ink or a distress oxide, anything you wanted. These are just what I wanted to use today. So you can kind of see that ombre effect there. I laid out my stamps just so that I could audition them before I started stamping. So I am using 3 of the sentiments, and I am stamping that with a black dye ink as well. And first I started with Paradise, then Relax, and then Be Happy. I think that's a pretty good description of how I feel when I'm at the beach, and that's what summer means to me. So this card really spoke to me. If you like my card so far, I would really love it if you would consider liking, subscribing, leaving a comment. All of us here at Whimsy love sharing our projects with you and to give you little tips and tricks along the way. So thank you so much for spending the time with me. So the lifeguard stand I glued down, and then I popped up the surfboard image and the hut, and then I did the same with the beach sign. You'll notice I brought the birds in and a chair, and I used the same exact colors. Now, to give some of the beach effect, I am dotting in some E42 onto the desert sand just to give texture, and that's to disguise the fact that I had fuzzy cut the images. Here are some last looks at my card. I think it turned out super cute. You'll have to let me know. Again, thanks so much for hanging out with me. Until next time, keep crafting, friends. Bye-bye.